and bang! What is up, our Scooter St. Rodham fans and viewers? Scott Casey Gale here, and today I'm going to give you my recap and review of Mayans MC Season 3, Episode 8, entitled A Mixed Up and Splendid Rescue. It was directed by Alonso Alvarez, and I thought it was a pretty good episode. Not as good as the previous episode, but all in all, a good, nice, slow episode. Okay, let's begin the recap, shall we? At the end of Mayans MC's previous episode, What Comes of Hand and Snakeskin, series protagonist Easy Ways murdered Oscar Ramos, the leader of the Stockton Mayans, as payback for the attempt on his life. However, at the same time, the Santa Padre Club suffered a potential loss of its own when Leticia Cruz found her father, Coco, passed out from an apparent overdose. The latest episode of Mayans MC, A Mixed Up and Splendid Rescue, explores the fallout of those events and teases what comes next for Santa Padre. A Mixed Up and Splendid Rescue opens with Leticia attempting to revive Coco. His love interest, Hope, soon wakes up and sees what's going on. In response to the situation, Hope pulls out an naloxone syringe, which she uses to reverse Coco's overdose and save his life. The fallout from this overdose, though, plays a huge part in A Mixed Up and Splendid Rescue. Later in the episode, Leticia talks with Coco about what happened. He apologizes and admits he needs help to get clean. Coco also claims that Hope also wants to get clean. Though Leticia scoffs at the idea outside the house, Hope tries to apologize to Leticia, who refuses to give her any forgiveness. The two then talk about the dead abusive mothers before Leticia changes the subject to her frustration since at hardly getting any consideration from a drug addict father. Leticia then grills Hope about whether she'll really get clean for Coco's sake, but the older woman's non-committal answer doesn't prove convincing. That night, Leticia's instinct proves correct. As they're going through withdrawal, Hope leaves an unconscious Coco and her soberly behind her for Meth Mountain. Elsewhere, in A Mixed Up and Splendid Rescue, the Santa Padre Clubhouse's bartender, Nails, starts throwing up in the bathroom. Hank Loza then comes in to check on her. Initially, there's a bit of back and forth with Hank, insisting that Nails can trust him. This results in Nails revealing she's pregnant with Angel's child, which is why she's vomiting. While Nails thinks she's going to have to deal with the situation by herself, Hank says, "Whatever you need, I got you. You're not alone in this. I'll help you. I got you. I'm all in." The two then hug at a later point in the episode. Hank returns home and asks his mother if it'll be fine to have Nails come for dinner. His mother, for her part, seems incredibly happy that her son has potentially found someone. Back at his apartment, Angel himself is in rough shape and thinking about his dead son, whom he had with Adelita, as he gets dressed for a meal with Easy, Gabby, and Felipe. Angel finds a shirt that belonged to Adelita, which he soon throws away. He then heads to the meal, arriving an hour late, just as Easy starts serving food. At the meal, Easy announces that Gabby got into nursing school, though she adds that she hasn't made any decision yet about whether she'll go in. An intoxicated Angel then questions why she would want to stay in Santa Padre and make an issue out of Gabby having worn the dead mother's apron. You think there's any happy endings in this town? Angel asks. In this house? Ask the last lady to wear that thing. After Easy and Felipe chastise him for his behavior, Angel pours pushes Bear out over the kitchen table and leaves. At some point, following that confrontation, Angel goes back to the clubhouse where Prospect Steve informs him that there's a meeting going on inside. Inside the Sahucha Mayans president and Tucson Mayans president Ibarra coordinate with the Santa Padre Mayans on a battle plan. First, though, Santa Padre President Bishop tells Gilly Lopez that the purposely missing Coco must show up to the next meeting or face major consequences. It says the Satawida president then explains that Yuma Mayans president Canch is using Santa Padre having killed members of the Stockton Mayans to fire people up, which most club members are seemingly fine with. Easy having killed Ramos. They have issues with the reprisals against his men, including the would-be assassin Flaco. The group then decides that the best course of action is going to take Conch out and having Bishop become the sole leader of the Mayans. Afterwards, El Palo's sister comes to the clubhouse to talk to Taza. She tells him that the previous meeting in which he'd asked for information on El Palo following the murder of Alessandro Montes at first, El Pablo's sister says that she blamed Taza for the death of her brother David. However, she reveals she's the one who gave El Pablo the information that resulted in David's death. In response, Taza explains that neither of them are responsible for David's death. The episode then makes clear that Taza and David were actually in a relationship and in love, which is what resulted in the latter's death. Taza, though has seemingly not disclosed his sexuality to the rest of the Santa Padre Mayans, saying he couldn't stand to lose another person whom he loves in that way. Before they part ways, El Palo's sister gives David's cross to Taza, telling him that her brother would want him to be happy. Elsewhere, Easy and Gabby go on a walk where they talk about the awkward confrontation with Emily Galindo following the attempt on his life. Looking out on the countryside, Easy tells Gabby that he doesn't want to put her dreams on hold for him. Gabby then changes the subject slightly and tells Easy that she left her home for the United States in order to feel safe. As such as the attempt on Easy's life is a sort of violence that doesn't want to let back into her life. Easy then promises that nothing like that will happen again, and she seems to believe him. But it's pretty clear he won't be able to keep his word. That night, Easy and Gabby go to get ice cream. However, they're interrupted by a call from Bishop. Before they enter the building, Bishop, for his part, says he has a plan to get Conch, which isn't disclosed in the episode. Inside the shop, though, two men harass Gabby about immigration status as she walks out. Easy is able to put together what happened and soon attacks the men, beating them to a pulp. In the process, he accidentally hits Gabby. He's then restrained by the police, whom he also starts hitting. As one might expect, this results in Easy getting arrested as a horrified Gabby looks on. And while Easy's night ends in disaster, Angel's ends with a major revelation. Back at his apartment, Angel continues his decline and aims his gun at the TV instead of firing his weapon. Angel calls Nails and invites her over for a booty call. Nails, though, has plans of her own, and after a short argument, she tells Angel that she's pregnant, which makes him happy. While Mixed Up Splendid Rescue is already jam-packed with plots, The episode also manages to pull in Miguel Galindo and El Palo, sending him on a collusion course with the Santa Padre Mayans. In this segment, Miguel starts to adjust to life without his mother Dita, and even begins growing his beard back. The newfound peace is interrupted, although when the medical examiner's office calls him and says that his mother died from strangulation, not suicide. This leads Miguel to go to his former housekeeper, Maria's home, and ask if there was anything specifically troubling his mother before her death. Maria tells Miguel that his mother was afraid of Emily and the Reyes family. She said if something happened, but Maria explains to Miguel, if you ever asked to let you know, your wife was involved. From there, Miguel goes to Nestor's home and explains what he knows about Dita's death. Nestor then reveals that he's been withholding the Marcus Alvarez's observation that there were motorcycle tracks at the house on the night Dita died, seemingly confirming Miguel's suspicion that the Reyes brothers were involved in her death. Later at home, Miguel has sex with Emily, during which he starts choking her, though he soon lets up as they lay in bed afterwards. Miguel starts crying. Finally, El Palo arrives at a ramshackle house in Tijuana that's filled with armed men who work for a gangster named Albuquerque. Palo is soon tied up and taken to Albuquerque, where he witnesses the brutal execution of a police officer with a hacksaw. Initially, Palo offers Albuquerque an opportunity for vengeance against the Galindo family, who killed the gangster's uncle. However, Albuquerque reveals that his uncle molested him and that he would have liked to have killed the man himself. Deciding to instead appeal to Albuquerque's programmatic side, Palo says he can help the gangster become wealthier and take control of the Galindo cartel territory. The crime lord agrees, setting up a freeway conflict between Albuquerque and the Galindo cartel and the Santa Padre Mayans. And considering that they're also dealing with internal war, things definitely look bad for the Santa Padre Mayans. And I would give this episode 4.5 stars, 2 thumbs up, an 8 triple plus, and a solid 8 out of 10. Like I said, it was a good episode, but I just didn't think it was as good as the previous episode. But I don't know, the ending is when it got really good. So Miguel Galindo finally knows that his mother's death was not a suicide, it was a strangulation. And it looks like next week's episode, so Miguel Galindo is gonna have and it looks like in next week's episode, so Miguel Galindo is gonna have Alvarez kill Easy Ways. There's 2 episodes left this season. Two episodes left. What's gonna happen? So far, we have not seen Chucky Marstein or Lincoln Potter this season. I'm guessing maybe Chucky Marstein might return in next week's episode or the season finale. And I don't think Lincoln Potter is going to come back until the season finale. But all in all, like I said, I enjoyed this episode, and I'm looking forward to finding out what happens in the 2 remaining episodes of season 3. Anyway, comment down below in the comment section and tell me what you thought about this episode. What do you think is going to happen in the 2 remaining episodes? You stay classy, live long and prosper, and peace out.